I have on women. Heather, did you hear my question?
What was your question? Sorry.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how well do you feel you know AI?
Like 7,
Okay, 7.
8.
Okay. And Mike, we'll get started with after this. Mike, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm just asking, how well do you feel you know AI?
Um, if you're talking to me, like probably pretty decent. I kind of use it to help me write up my stuff and um, but not to the full extent, obviously. So
On a scale of 1
so
to
it'll be about a
10,
five, I think, a five.
5. Okay, great, 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 great. Okay, so welcome everybody. I am Coach Bob McCranie. I'm going to share my screen here. Um, and I don't know if Frank's going to be joining us or not. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a presentation. It's part of I'm building more and more of these presentations. So every week it modulates a little bit, and I add more slides. I take away slides. So hopefully this will make sense. Originally, this one was called "Why is ChatGPT sending your website leads?" I am an IDX fiend. I love working on websites, and I grew up doing technology. I tell people I was the kid who didn't dress out in gym. I stayed inside in the computer lab, didn't go out and get injured on the field. So I can sit here as a geek now and kind of help people through stuff. Okay. So, big change in the world. Search engines are now becoming answer engines. Okay. When somebody, and if this is going to be, rudimentary to some and groundbreaking to others here. So that's why I'm asking how you feel about AI on 1 to 10 here. If you type in a search, the old style way of getting your results is through these lists, right? The new style way is that it will think for you and give you the results it thinks you want. And it will be citing different sources to give you those results. We need to be in those sources. So the big part of what I want to talk about today is how we take our content and get into those sources. Okay. But the whole world is shifting over to the answer engine mentality, and people are adapting to it pretty quickly. Google, I forget the date they said, but they're switching their feed very soon to be the answer, like the AI overview up top. I just typed in Grand Canyon, Arizona, and it gives you the AI overview. Pretty soon that will be the primary. It will not be just an option. Okay. All the links that we have below will still show up. They're citable in AI, but this is how it's going to be presented back to people. So we have to get ready for that. And there's several things we can do. Now, whose grandma had this console player in their house? Whose grandma had this? Okay. This console could play records, it could play cassettes, it could play CDs, and your drunk uncle brought his 8-track tapes over and played the 8-track tapes, right? I want you to think of this as LLMs. Okay. ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Grok all hold the music. Perplexity can play any one of the formats. Okay. That's how I want you to think about it. Perplexity itself is not a large language model. It simply plays all the content that the others have. Okay. So I want you to be thinking about which ones you gravitate to and which ones you don't. There are some of the coaches want you playing on all of them. I tend to be on ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude. I really don't touch Perplexity or Grok. And that's just me. It's also kind of like the VHS tape. ChatGPT is the VHS tape. Everybody has it. Some people have a laser player. Some people have a DVD. Everybody's using VHS. So ChatGPT is the most popular. I think Claude does the best writing. If you want something well written, take it to Claude. If you need graphics and things done, Notebook LM through Gemini is amazing. Okay, although ChatGPT has got a really good graphics interface. But I want you to use this thought process in how you're looking at these LLMs. I just like the idea that it's the old players. So each of those four, I want you to think of those as aunts who love you. Heather, you were their favorite niece, and they just want to take you to coffee and sit there and listen to your stories. And then they're going to go out and tell all their friends at Bunko and pickleball about Heather and how great she is as an agent. These LLMs are going to go out and talk about you and refer to you. Okay, but you need to talk to them. You need to sit down with the LLMs and talk to them. And what we're going to be doing is producing content with the LLM, and then we're going to be putting that content out into the echo chamber of the internet. If I sit here and talk to ChatGPT and I have a great recipe for pot roast, ChatGPT will not tell the world about the pot roast recipe unless I produce something with it, put that recipe out on the internet, and then ChatGPT goes, "Oh, there's a pot roast there. Well, let's go grab it." We can't just type to it. We have to put it out in the echo chamber, and that's where the metaphor of the ants here. We need to sit down with the ants and let them go out and talk to the world. Does that make sense? Okay. So this is the echo chamber effect. We need to produce content about our business, about our market, about what we're doing as realtors, things we have going on in our neighborhoods. We need to produce the content and talk to the LLMs about it, produce something, put it out on the web so it can then be cited in results. Okay? It will not just take what you say to it and tell the world. It won't do that. It needs to be things that you then put out as blogs, as content on your site, WordPress, your social medias, all these different places that Pantano talks about that you need to put your biography. Did everybody do the "Hello, my name is" script and get your biography out for everybody? And there were 15 sites we had to go and put our information on. This is creating that echo chamber. Okay. We cannot just sit here and talk to our screen. We have to put it out on the web for everybody to hear. Okay. This is making you discoverable to the LLMs. Okay. So from here, the old style way of doing your website, who, by the way, has a website that they think is okay? Who has a website they can't stand and don't understand? Anybody? Okay, well, I'll assume the other folks have their hand up for that. Okay, so the old style way of building out pages, you put the name of the area you're in, what the site is about, and you build out a couple pages and you put it up there. This is the old style way of doing SEO. Okay. The new style way, oh, by the way, this kind of collapsed when Realtor and Zillow took over. Realtor and Zillow took over and did a lot. Now, you can still run an IDX, and I do, and I make a lot of referrals off my IDX. But these folks walked in the door and kind of swooped it up. And they did a strategy that I'll talk about in a bit if you want to. So the old style way doesn't work as well. The new style way is taking the content on your website and making lots of blogs about it, making content on your site, comparing them, building out every possible page you can. So if you're like Josh, you're in Florida, I would build out a page for every small community, every town, because Josh, correct me if I'm wrong, you're in Stellar MLS, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so how many counties are in Stellar MLS? Stay online. Stay unmuted.
I think there's about 15 plus.
15 counties, and within 15 counties, let's say each of those counties have 10 towns, right?
Yeah.
We should be building a page for each county, page for each town, a page for each subdivision, a page. We should be putting as many hooks out in the water. Okay? Because if we're gonna be selling content, we need to have content on our page. Unfortunately, what most people do with their website is they have an about me, they have a home page, and that's in a box that says "Good luck finding a house." Okay? So Ashley, let's say you and I are gonna run a clothing store, Ashley. Unmute.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to run a clothing store. We're going to put, some nice blouses and shirts and stuff in the front window, some hats, because I see you like hats. Now, when people come into our shop, let's say Josh is going to come in and shop and he wants to look at things. We're going to tell Josh, "Hey, Josh, your size and color are in the back room in a box. Go in the boxes in the back room and just rummage through till you find what you want." Do you think Josh is going to go in the back room?
Nope.
That's kind of sketchy, isn't it?
Yeah, out the front door.
Yeah. So why on our websites do we have a box that says "Good luck sorting through and finding your own house"? Why don't we have every house, every county, every style, every view, every location, everything already out on the racks? Because that takes time and we don't want to spend the time doing it. Could you just poke around in the boxes in the back room and find your own house? By the way, when you build it out this way, the LLMs love it and they start to find it. The other thing you do is you take your sitemap from your website and you give it to the LLMs and say, "Talk about this. Give me some content I can put out on the web in the echo chamber about how great my site is, how much I've built out, all the different counties in Stellar MLS that I have, all the different towns in Stellar, all the different things, live near." Build it out. Most people have a website they never move into. Most people have a website they never move into. Lori, let's assume that you sold me a brand new construction home. Okay? You sold me a new construction home, and 2 years later, I call you up and say, Lori, I want to sell this thing. It's horrible. I hate it. It's uncomfortable. And you come to look at it, and it's as empty as the day you sold it to me. I never moved in a bed. I never put a painting on the wall. I did nothing to it. I never moved into the house. Lori, you sold me a horrible house. It's uncomfortable. That's what's happening with websites. You move from brand A to brand B to brand C, but you never moved into the site you had before, put your pictures on it, built it out, or did anything, and you go, gosh darn it, that website company took my money. Or worse yet, you pay them for Google ads forever because you didn't build it out yourself. Okay? It's not the cost of the printer that gets you, it's the cost of the cartridges, right? If you buy an HP printer, you're buying HP printer cartridges for the rest of your life. Okay? Guess what they make more money on? The cartridges. They make more money on the Google ads than they do the website. Okay, so this is what we need to do. Is everybody going to do this? Probably not, but just shake your head yes that you're going to. Okay, Melissa, I see you down there in the dark. Okay, so AI understands this new model better. Giving citations and mentions lets you show up in the search results. Stronger topical authority. Okay, stronger topical authority. When it sees that you have 17 searches for Tampa Bay homes on a corner lot, on a cul-de-sac lot, Tampa Bay HOAs, Tampa everything, it will say, oh my gosh, Josh, your website is amazing. Josh, I'm sure your website is amazing, but talk to me. Okay, it gets you more organic visibility, and it compounds your advantage against other people. Okay, by the way, if you ever think that, Stephanie down the way gets all the listings, she must be doing something on her Instagram or her YouTube or whatever. Call me, set up a time with me. We'll go look at all of her stuff and see where she's strong, because I can pull it all up, put it in Notebook LM, and see what she's doing. Okay. So, any questions so far? I'm looking at the chat, so if there's anything in there, let me know. Okay, I don't see anything. If you have questions, just jump in and yell. Okay, so this is the old style way of doing websites, and it really, really gets under my skin. It's a vanity site. It's the personality first lie that they tell you. It's all about you. Melissa, I'm going to pick on you for a second. Melissa, the site has to be all about you. You have to stand there with your realtor pose, have all your awards, show your cat, show your dog, talk about, no, people, they're coming to your website to see properties and you're getting in the way. You're getting in the way. Okay. If I go to the airport and I want to check in, give the lady my luggage, pick up my boarding pass and get to TSA, and I walk up to the gate and she has to tell me about her friends at the airline, how she looks in her uniform, all of her, no, lady, take my bag, give me my boarding pass. I am here for one purpose, and we get in the way of the houses by making it all about us. Bless you. That was a big sneeze. Bless you. Okay, so get out of this mindset that it's all about you. And the IDX companies will sell you this because they want to flatter you. They'll want to flatter you. So don't buy into this. You need to get to houses first. Put houses everywhere on the front page. If you go to Realtor Zillow and type in the name of your town, do you think it's Zillow going, hey, look at us, we're Zillow. Here's all of our awards. Here's all of our staff standing here. Nobody cares. Get them to houses first. They will meet you later, okay? They will meet you later. Get out of the way of the customer. Have you ever gone into a shop and people are on you as soon as you walk in the door? Can I help you? Can I help you? Can I help you? And you're like, no, I just want to look. Let them start looking at the product. Because this is why most realtor websites don't rank and don't draw in people, because they've told you it's all about you. It's not. They want houses first. Okay? So this is what I call the good luck box. Good luck finding a house. All of our websites have it. Yvette, you got a question? Okay. Okay, so I hit me. Sorry about that. Okay, so most of us have this sort of box on our website that says, good luck hunting and pecking for a house. Google will not rank what's in this box. Google will not give you authority for what's in this box. You have to build this out and put every sort of site out there you can think of. By the way, most of the sites have example fields that you can use. Fill out every example you can. Blog about it. This week, pick one city, pick a price point, pick something about that, and make a blog. Next week, pick something different, make a blog. Just keep building it out, building it. Get more things on the shelf every week. take them out of the box and put them on the shelf. Does that make sense? It's not hard to do. It just takes a little time. By the way, when you do this, you have an asset that you can sell, an asset that gets you organic traffic, an asset that gets you off the hook of buying all the Google ads. Okay, so domain authority. Domain authority is about how important your website is. So let's say that Tanya, is it Tanya or Tanya? This is the most important thing I'm going to ask today. Is it Tanya or Tanya? And it's mute or unmute. She may not be able to hear me. Okay, anyway, my point being is, if you are a real estate agent and Beyonce goes to the microphone and says, Tanya is the best agent in Crestview, Florida, you should use her. Okay? Beyonce has a domain authority of 100. Everybody's going to go to her website today because Beyonce said so. If my aunt walks down to the corner bus stop and says, Tanya's a pretty good agent, she has a domain authority of 1. Okay, so between 1 and 100, between my aunt and Beyonce, that's how your website is ranked. Okay, most realtor websites rank around 10. Okay, domain authority is built over time. You have to have relevant content, strong backlinks, excuse me, from other websites saying Tanya's website is amazing. You have to have a structure that yields itself to SEO and yields itself to AI crawling it. Topical authority, talking about things that are relevant to the area. Trusted brand signals. This is going to be having your address on the website, having your email and phone number on the website, having things that make it look like you're a legitimate business, not just somebody who threw something up on the web this week. Okay? And age and consistency. Is your URL, is it brand new, or has it been around a long time and it trusts that you've been on the internet a while? Okay, so these are things that build domain authority. Right now, my domain authority is in the 30s, like 35, 30, 34. Most real estate websites are around 10 or 11. Okay, I watched a demo today from somebody who was trying to sell us some content. His domain authority was about 7 or 8. And I was just like, I can't listen because your domain authority is so rubbish. So thank you for that. So domain authority helps you get higher up, and the higher up you get, the more the LLMs will look at your site. So we have to build domain authority to get our site to rank higher. It's easy to do. By the way, this is a long-term play. Who's going to retire out of the business in a year? Anybody? Who's going to retire out of the business in 20 years? This will become an asset that you can sell. Okay, this is not, I got to make money tomorrow. This is, I want to sell my business later and walk away and have this asset I can sell to somebody. Josh, did you have a question?
I did, yeah. So you said yours is in the 30 now. Is this the one in Texas or is this a new one that you?
Texas, yeah.
Okay.
Texas Pride Realty.
Okay. So with that being said, well, have you found any websites that are in the strong or excellent for real estate purposes that is a good one to have it as an example?
I have not found one that's owned by a person. Okay. Now, if you go to the big brands like Remax, the big national brands, they're going to have a higher domain authority. They're not really on par with you and I at the agent level running these websites.
But they're also not hyper local, right? So is that what would give us
They're not
more?
local either.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No, I'm struggling. I mean, I'm in this struggle too. But I'm showing you what I've done along the way. But yeah, most of the websites I look at are in the teens.
Okay.
So I've broken out of that group. Now I got to break to the next group. Look, I'm not here to preach that I'm doing everything right. I am in the struggle as well.
No, I was just wondering how long it would take. This is a long-term play, like 3 to 5 year minimum, probably.
105 years old. Okay.
Yeah.
I've been working. Okay. So steps to get dominance, excuse me. 1, build an inventory first website. Get out of the way of the customer. Put the inventory up front. Put yourself on the about page. Put yourself on the meet the team page. That's where you put all the awards and everything else about your company. Get the inventory out there first. Build by school district, build by zip code, build by neighborhood, build by city, build by county. You'll know your area better than I will. There may be some geographic thing. I built by train stops. In Dallas-Fort Worth, they have the DART train. I did radius searches around every dart stop and built a page for each one. You want to live near the rail system? Here's a website for you. Our biggest search generally is mother-in-law plan. When I built that page, I had no idea. I'm just putting hooks in the water. I don't know which fish is going to bite. But what do I got to do? I just got to build a page. It doesn't cost me anymore. I'm just going to build more and more and more of this till I find what's working, and then I give it to everybody else. Okay? So first we build an inventory first website. Then,
Okay.
any question, Jenna? Jenna, do you have a question? Okay, I guess not. So create infinite path search pathways. Like I was saying, cities, zip codes, subdivisions, school districts, neighborhoods, property types, features of homes. Like in Texas, we don't have basements because our clay soil will crush them. But we have pools. We have, 1 and 2 story houses. We have corner lots. We have houses with accessory dwelling units. All these different varieties of searches that Zillow and Realtor don't do, we can do. Okay. And if you have a question about your IDX should be able to show you what other searches it can do. Get specific, get into the niches. The niches make you money. Okay. Now, when you do these things, go to ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and Grok and talk about it. Yeah, I built pages today for mother-in-law plans home in Plano and Carrollton, Texas. Here they are. What would you say about them? Have her write a blog, put it out on the internet so we can then talk about it to other people. Okay. You should be doing weekly reporting to the LLMs about what you're doing and how you're doing, and then putting that out on different sites. And you can blog either on your site yourself, or you can use something like WordPress, or you can use Active Rain. You can use any of those that you want to put something out in the world that you want the LLMs to see. Okay. Structure your site for AI ingestion. Use sitemaps. Almost every one of you will have a sitemap, whether you know it or not. Your company gives you a sitemap, okay? Use something called schema. And if you don't understand schema, it's just a little tag you put at the top and the bottom of your information, so that the sitemap is, I'm sorry, so that the crawlers say, oh my gosh, this is already prepared for us. We know exactly what to do with this blog. Lori put a schema on this blog. I understand exactly what the blog's about. I accept it. Okay. Topical clusters. So if all these blogs are about Carrollton, Texas, put just a tag on them about Carrollton, Texas. Most of the blog sites you have can put a category or a tag on them. These are all about residential homes that are from the 1960s. Great. That has a tag. We understand everything here is about the 1960s home style. Okay. Internal linking. If you have a page that you created and it shows up in your sitemap and you've never put a link to it on your homepage, Google will depreciate that page because you built it, but you never exposed it. So it must not be that important. And that can happen sometimes. You build this great thing, you forget to put it out on your linkage, it never gets seen. Okay. So in having clean navigation helps it understand what things are about, like sub menus of different pages. Okay. I'm seeing some concerned faces. Does this make sense, or did I go too deep already? Okay. Then we go to creating the authority loop, which is talking about what we just did and putting it out on the internet so the LLMs can then see it and recognize it and shoot it back to other people. Okay, so that's creating blogs, making a YouTube about what you just did on your website, how great you just made something on your site, putting those out on Active Rain or WordPress, putting them on your Facebook and your Instagram and your TikTok, or wherever the kids are going today. Google Business Profile. Make a post on your Google Business Profile about what you just did. Okay. And if you have other friends in the industry, see if they'll share it. Heather, if you post something, maybe Jenna will share it, and maybe Yvette will share it, and then they'll share about you. Just help each other out with content sometimes. That's really good. Because then it's not just me talking about my own content, it's other people going, hey, my friend in Topeka did this thing about her website, and I'm going to do it next week. Just want to share. Sometimes that little mention can help boost somebody else up. And then finally, own the funnel and monetize it for visibility. Okay. I would rather you at some point be able to turn off Google Ads. I know that they're important at some point, but I would love for people to be able to run an organic business and not have to depend on Google Ads. Okay. Someday that will happen. We will see. By the way, does anybody here have a website provided by their brokerage that is not one that they own or pay for themselves? Good. Okay. We need just because it's free from the brokerage does not mean it's good. Okay. And by the way, it's
Yes,
not free from
I
the
have
brokerage.
questions about that. Yes, please talk.
I love it when somebody tells me it's free from the brokerage when they pay a broker fee each month. I don't pay $10 at the first window and get my free hamburger at the second window from McDonald's. I paid $10 back there, but this hamburger is free, right? No, I paid for it. You're paying in the brokerage fees for the website. When you try to build on that website, you're only making your brokerage stronger, not you. Okay? You need to own your own technology. What happens right now, I don't know if you've noticed, there's been some consolidation in brokers, right? One company takes over another company, takes over another company. We have nothing to do with that. But when you are dependent on the brokerage technology for the CRM and the IDX, and broker B comes in and buys your company, you have to migrate to their systems and you lose everything you built. Or let's say that your brokerage is still independent and you're doing it your own way and you're using their site. What happens when the vendor B calls the broker and says, hey, we'll do all your sites cheaper for your agents, move everybody, and you move and migrate because you didn't own the site. Your broker is going to make a business decision to save money on all those sites. Do not build your castle on land you don't own. Do not build your castle on land you don't own. Tom talks about building a moat around your business, right? You cannot dig a moat around a business on land you don't own. Okay? Okay. So I've covered a lot of this. This is going in deeper details. I'd want to just skip past this part. And this is about a month ago. This was how many times I'm getting referrals from ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and Grok on my Dallas website. Okay. I had 213 users come from ChatGPT. Claude had sent me 12, Gemini sent me 9, Perplexity sent me 6, even though I'm not using Perplexity and Grok and Copilot.
Sorry to interrupt. How can you tell that? We can look that up too?
Yes.
People call me, but I don't know if it's from.
Okay, Google Analytics and Google Search Console are your friends. Google Analytics is one. Google Search Console is the other. And now my little G machine is in the background talking back to me because she thinks I said her name. So you want to look at Search Console and Analytics. And if you want to book a time with me, I'll walk you through how to do them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Please. Thank you.
Yeah. So it's easy to tell where your traffic is coming from and who's actually using your site and what's going on with it. Okay. My goal is to increase these numbers every month. My goal is to increase these numbers every month. I want these 4 ants who love me to talk about me and to send me business. Okay. So the first step I put people through is the hello, my name is script. And if you have not gone through this, it's a script. It's about 8 or 9 questions where you answer, hello, my name is. I work for this company. I serve this region of whatever state I'm in. I usually sell this much real estate. People hire me because, put in why they hire you. I'm passionate about. I would like to help customers because this. And you fill out this kind of biography about yourself in about a paragraph and a half. You also add in there my website can be found at, my email address is, my phone number is, my website is here. My reviews can be found at this address. Then you hit enter. And it comes back and it says, hello, nice to meet you, Ashley. Tell me a little bit more. And then you say, ask me 10 questions, one at a time, so you get to know me and my business better. And you have the LLM ask you 10 questions. Okay? You do that on Chat, Gemini, Claude, and then Grok. By the end, you have 40 questions and answers. You take all those over to Claude and you have Claude write a biography for you. Because Claude, like I said, does the best writing. You put the biography out on 15 different websites, which is LinkedIn, which is Zillow, which is Realtor, which is your personal website, your brand website, your brokerage website, all these different places that you can put these profiles out, and it needs to see the same information in each location to really believe it. If it sees your biography in the same style with the same picture in all 15 of these really strong domain authority websites, it goes, Josh isn't lying. He's a real guy. Josh is a real person. He's got this credibility. I'm picking on Josh because I know him, but you know.
I have a
Yes, Heather,
question.
do you have a question?
Yeah, create personal profiles on Notebook LM, Perplexity, and what's napkin.ai?
Napkin.ai is a website that takes text and makes infographics out of it.
Oh, so it's similar to Notebook LM.
It's actually similar and it's actually not as good as Notebook, but it was in there, yeah.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. But you should be making I don't know if it's the next slide. There, so this is describing how you're going to do the hello, my name is script. Okay. You're going to do that series of questions that I just came up with, and you're going to ask ChatGPT to ask you 10 questions and interview you. You ask me 10 questions one at a time so you get to know me and my business better. Then you're going to take that hello, my name is paragraph and those 10 questions over to Gemini. You're going to say, here's the information I have from chat. Ask me 10 new questions. Then you're going to go to Claude, give it the information you had from the other two, and then you're going to go to Grok and give it by the end, Grok has 40 questions. Then you're going to backfill the ones that only had 10 or 20 questions, and then you're going to have Claude write you that biography. Okay? Then you're going to put, these are the sites, Heather, you're going to ask about. That these are the sites you're going to want to do. You're going to want to put these out on all these different websites so that people see. Now, I was not a Reddit person, but I'm getting a Reddit account up and going. You know, homes.com, Yelp. By the way, when you go on Yelp and put your profile on there, they will start calling you again for ads. Just tell them thank you, but no. Put it on any of the sites that you have for your brokerage. Put it on your personal site. Okay. Expertise.com is an interesting site. Real Trends, some people can't get a Real Trends profile unless you've been on one of the Real Trends lists. Okay. So the second thing is we want to start working with the LLMs to create blogs and give it a structured way of doing a question. I'm sorry, a prompt. So the prompt should have 4 different parts. You want to tell it who it is, what is its role. Assume the role of a marketer in real estate working in Central Florida. Tell it the context. I'm creating a listing presentation for a seller who's going to sell their house in Boca Raton. I don't know where Boca is in relation. Okay. Give it a command. I want you to create the listing presentation based off the sources I'm giving you. Format. I need this printed out in PDF with this color scheme from my logo, and I want it to be 14 pages. You give it a role, a context, a command, and a format. Most people are using prompts right now to be like, could you rewrite my email, and not telling it what it's doing, who it's supposed to be, what's the email about. We're giving just really bad prompts to these LLMs and then asking it to just kind of fill in the gaps. Okay, so if you're doing this, you want to do role, context, command, format. This is what makes a really good prompt that you can use over and over and over again. Who's doing it at this level? Anybody? Okay. Okay. I see you're tentative there. That's okay. I see everybody else has turned the cameras off and they've started their Friday already. I hope you're having a good beverage already. Okay. So this is, again, going into the 4-part prompt a little bit deeper here. Okay. Start using this over and over and just get used to it. When you start to type in, fix my email, tell it more about the email. Tell it who it's for, what format you want it in. Give it a little bit more detail. You'll get better results. Okay. So these are things you can do. Go out and search yourself on Google. Go type in Tanya Rivera, Crestview, Florida, or Tanya Rivera Realtor. Go to the AI mode when you do. At the top, you'll see AI mode. Okay. On one side, you're going to have a nice write-up about yourself. But on the right-hand side, you're going to have all the different sites it found you on and is sourcing you on. Okay. These may not be the same 15 sites that we told you earlier to put your bio on. Okay, so it found me on Houston Association of Realtors, HAR. It found me on WordPress. It found me on my own site. It found me on Realtor.com. It found me on Candy's Dirt, which is a real estate blog site. Found me on Zillow, HomeSmart, and BobMcCranie.com. I need to be sure that these other sites also have my updated bio and the same picture appears across all the brands. If it sees consistency in the pictures, consistency in the bio, it helps. Okay? Has anybody done this already with as many sites as they can? Okay, Joshua, you're the only one. Mike, you've kind of gone off camera. Are you still even with us? Ashley's walked away. Okay, it's Friday, everybody. I get it. Thank you, Mike. I like seeing faces. Okay, so this is, again, talking about the box that we all have for our SEO. I'm sorry, for our searches. Start figuring out how your site works and build out as many of these searches as you can and put them out there on a blog. Build every week, build a county or a city by price point. Here's Carrollton, Texas under 400. Here's Carrollton, Texas under 800. Carrollton, Texas under $1 million. Carrollton, Texas with a pool. Carrollton, Texas on a corner lot. Carrollton, Texas with a mother-in-law plan. Carrollton, Texas with a whatever, older home. Just come up with every iteration you can possibly think of and make a page or a blog about it. That's putting it out on the rack for everybody to see, as opposed to sending somebody to the back room to look in the boxes to find what they're looking for. It's not brain surgery. It's not hard. It's just a little boring and time consuming. Okay? Okay. Now, some things in internet world, I won't even go into this too deeply. What's called a query string URL. You know what? It's Friday. I'm going to skip this altogether. This has to do with how your search looks. Don't worry about this right now. That's a little much. Now, forced sign in is something I will die on this hill. This is important. They have to sign in on the first listing. Do not let them have 2 or 3 listings first and then sign in. That's like saying if we were going to run that clothing store we were talking about earlier, Ashley and I, and Joshua comes in and we let him steal the first 3 shirts, hoping he'll buy the 4th one. How long are we going to stay in business that way? Your product is these properties. Make them pay for the property with their digits. Okay? And a lot of the companies are getting better at ferreting out when somebody's putting in bad information. Like the company I'm with makes them validate their phone number now. It gets a little text number. They have to put that in to continue. If they don't put that in, they don't get to see the pictures. That's getting us real phone numbers that we know are valid. Okay? So do not be a wuss about this. Do not be a wuss about this. Make them sign in. You will change your world if you do that. And then you have to follow up with them. Okay. Having a sitemap is important. Most of you don't even have to worry about it. It's out there already. If you go to yoururl.com/sitemap.xml, this down here, okay? Whatever your website is, .com/sitemap.xml, you already have a sitemap. Take that sitemap, give it to Notebook LM, give it to ChatGPT, give it to Claude. Let them look at your sitemap and tell you what you need to build. Let them tell you how your site is doing. That's everything that's on your site right now. Have it look at it and tell you what's different and what you could do. Take that competitor that you're trying to catch up to. Grab their sitemap. It's right there. It's available to anybody to go look at. Grab their sitemap, put it in, and say, look at my sitemap and theirs and tell me how to gain traction on them. It's publicly accessible information. So sitemaps are incredibly important. Don't worry about that. Okay, so this is a blog I like to create. Oh, come back here. Blog I like to create. After I've uploaded my sitemap, I tell it to create 5 blogs comparing 3 cities each from my sitemap. So this is going to compare Carrollton to Plano to the Colony. It's going to compare Mesquite to Garland to Rowlett. Make blogs about these 3 cities and tell people why they should choose which one. Highlight the best parts of each city and give me 5 of these blogs combining 3 different cities per blog. I've used this over and over again. I do it in chat or I'll do it in Claude, depending on the day. Sometimes Claude doesn't like me because I've used too much time on Claude, so I go back to chat. I put that in Notebook LM, make it, get it to make some graphics, and it looks amazing, and I put it on my website. It has backlinks into my page because it knows all the links on my site, and it creates really incredible blogs by doing this. Okay, so by the way, if you need help with keywords everywhere. Who's heard of keywords everywhere? Keywords everywhere is really great to get keywords and trending things that you can use in your blogs. This is one of the graphics it did for those compare 3 cities. This came back to me in about 5 minutes or less. I had to compare Athens to Tyler to Longview. I didn't give it much of anything other than these 3 cities and price points. It came back with everything else. And this is from Notebook LM, which is a Google product. Who's used Notebook at all? I think Notebook is amazing. I could lose my whole time on Notebook LM. It's so ingenious. Okay, so this is a different one I did, Marshall, Kilgore, and Gladewater. These are all East Texas towns. And it knew enough from what I gave it, and it went out and extrapolated other things and put these together. Okay, schemas are just basically post-it notes that you're going to put on your blogs. Schemas, or you can look up how to do a schema. If you have questions, I'll do another class on that. It's basically saying, this is the title, this is what the blog is about, this is the picture you should use, and it's just marking it with a little post-it note so that the LLMs understand what to look for. Okay? Okay, any questions? That's a whole lot for a Friday. Any questions at all?
You
Like, why did I
probably
waste an
said
hour
this,
here?
and I'm sorry we're a little late. We had another meeting. Are you able to share the slides?
Yes. In every Tom Ferry presentation that we've ever done, we always have the slides shared and we always have the recording. So we're good on both.
Thank you. And can we set up a time with you? We have a lot of questions.
Absolutely. Yeah. It'll be under websitebob.com.
Is that to make an appointment with you?
Yeah. Websitebob.com.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So Bob, we'll probably talk offline as well, but I know some of us use like I had Sierra for 7 years, right before AI was even really a big thing. So we had to start another WordPress site, but it said not to get rid of the other website, which is like was more Orlando based. And I used to live there, but now I'm in St. Pete for about 6+ years. So we created a different website and kept that one. So we're trying to mix and match. I don't know if anyone else is into that, but we're just focused on the WordPress, but I don't have IDX with it. So is that from what I saw with what you said?
So Orlando and St. Pete are both in Stellar, right?
Yeah.
And you have a Sierra site running between one or the other?
Yeah, I'm slowly getting rid of certain areas in Orlando because they said not to do everything at once or it'll freak out.
Do you not want to make referrals in Orlando?
I'd have Miss Jennifer. I do,
Why? Here's
but
my question. If you have 15 counties in Stellar, build every freaking county, even if you don't want to drive there, make referrals. It's the same $400 a month. Why would you not out advertise every little agent in all these other areas and not make the money?
Good question. So I talked to Claude about this, and I highly want to focus on where I live, right?
That's fine. Focus on it.
Yeah, but they said that for the AI vision of it, it says that I cover this area, so it doesn't see me as an authority in St. Pete. So it just
That's
dilutes it too
absolutely
much.
not necessarily the case. The more you blog about St. Pete, the more you'll get that authority, but leave the hooks out in the water for all the other places.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. By the way, do you also realize that these LLMs will tell you what they think it wants you to hear? Josh, you are so amazing at this. That's perfect. Good question, Josh. Great job. They flatter the hell out of you.
So should I tell him to be mean
No,
and honest?
you should just look at it and go, that's nice. I'm going to make as much money as I can.
Mhm.
I'm licensed in 3 states. I'm licensed in Texas, Delaware, and Florida. I run 6 websites personally myself for my own business. I run 50 websites for other real estate agents. I got this. This I got. And my whole job is to make referrals in the other states and hand them off to my coaching clients.
So the
I'm
AI
going to be a little
doesn't
Zillow.
so the AI doesn't get confused of where you actually
No,
are.
no, because when I tell the prompt what I want, I'm telling the prompt who I am. I am this and I'm doing that. I give it the context. I give it the who it is. Then it helps me go, oh, your site is supposed to be about this. Great, we understand. Let's create content that tells the world your site is about this. And then when it crawls the site and sees that, it goes, I understand Bob's site now. He's not trying to be this one thing that we presumed. He's trying to be this other thing.
Okay.
You can make it work. I see something in here. I work Kansas City. If you would like to get, oh, somebody's trying to get some referrals out of this call. This is great. Okay, great. Any other questions? And yes, Josh, book time with me. It's websitebob.com. Okay, everybody, if you don't have questions, have a great weekend. Thank you for being here. Thanks for putting up with this. And I will talk to you later.
Thanks,
See you at
Bob.
Summit.
Thank you.